Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video during JMA Friday for today's second video. So as always on a Friday, we have a look at the weather for the month ahead with Japanese and CFX meteorology gets to the end of December, and I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say that the first video release today was our 6 AM upload. Got 10 to 14 there, another Christmas update. And if all that wasn't enough, we're going to be live streaming after 10 PM. We'll have our Friday night live stream. So I'll see you around 10:30 live for that one. Epic day of content today. Goodness gracious me. I'm going to be on an iron lung by midnight. Anyway, never mind. We're going to start off with the week 1 500 millibar height anomaly from the JMA from the Arctic and North Pole view down. This is the North Pole just here or somewhere around there. This is the wider Arctic circle through there. And I've got mid latitude through here. Blue is extrapolating to below average height, which is low pressure. Yellow, orange, red to above average height, which is high pressure. These are broken down into week periods. So the first week period will take us from today, the 2nd, through to the 9th of December. The coming week will have above average heights blocking over and to the north of the country. With below average heights to the south, the winds will be coming in from a cold east or northeasterly direction. So looking cold and blocked in the weekend. On week 2, sends the high pressure more towards Greenland, sends it over Greenland from the 9th to the 16th of December. Below average heights, low pressure underneath it into northern and western Europe. That stays cold and looks very wintry potentially as well. Winds coming in from the northeast about, and the low pressures will provide the energy potentially for quite a lot of snow. Now weeks 3 and 4 excuse me, week 3 and 4 will be the 16th through to the 30th of December. Not much change, to be honest. It looks like we keep the above average heights going towards Greenland, maybe a little bit more centred towards the Canadian side of Greenland. Just allows the lower pressure to come a bit further northward, so it might turn less cold there into the second half of December. Bearing in mind that's a 2-weekly anomaly, so it could be transitional. We might still have a very cold week 3. It gets milder week 4. We might have a slightly milder week 3, and then it gets colder in week 4 over Christmas. You know, something like that could be going on. It's a 2-week anomaly, so always difficult to decipher for the entire 2 weeks. But it still looks pretty blocked, I have to say. It still looks like there's a lot of high pressure within the northern latitudes, and it would not take much at all, actually, for that to just keep it cold right way through the second half of December. So this is a tropical and mid-latitude view, so we can't see Greenland, Iceland, Scandinavia. Whoops, my line went a bit wonky. I can't see all of the high-latitude regions there up the chart. But as we have a look at that view down, we know what's going on. UK and Ireland is in the top right-hand corner of the chart as you are looking at it. So, reminder of the week 1 500 millibar height anomaly with loads and loads of blocking within the northern latitudes. Low pressure is centred to the south of it, winds coming in from the east and from the northeast. It means that the coming week will be colder than average. Look at this, from the 2nd to the 9th of December. Yes, it's below average and quite substantially so too on the temperature scale. We're around 1 to 2 degrees below average there. So a cold week to come. Relatively dry, however, particularly to the north and the west. However, there might be a little bit of showery weather to the east. And, you know, in these kind of situations, a seasonal model, a long-range model, is not going to be able to pick up on snow possibilities. It's hard enough for, like, the high-resolution models, such as Icon and whatnot, and UKV to be able to pick up on snow possibilities, never mind the seasonal models. So, you know, although it is dry on average because cold air holds less moisture back, warm air, there would still be precipitation in this scenario, and snow possibilities would still arrive. But particularly so to week 2, actually, which is the 9th to 16th of December, then we get this low pressure coming in underneath a big blocking area of high pressure. And, you know, we just increase the risk of precipitation. It's significantly colder than average still as well, with widespread temperature anomalies of around 2 to 3 degrees below average. And precipitation-wise, it's still also a little bit on the drier side. A little bit more precipitation around than this would suggest, to be honest, given that 500 millibar height anomaly. The model is not picking up on, the chance of snow. The model will struggle with that. And I think that would be a snowier week than the JMA is suggesting there. And then we go through the week 3 and 4, which is the 16th to the 30th of December, more or less up to New Year. Still with quite a lot of blocking that you can just make out over here, perhaps going a little bit more towards the Canadian side of Greenland, allowing the low pressure to come a bit further northwards in from the Atlantic. The temperature anomaly is still below average though. Only slightly, but it is still rather below average there from the 16th to the 30th. So remember, it's a transitional period, a 2-weekly period, so you might have a milder week and a colder week offsetting one another, and it is more unsettled as well with the precipitation going above average, and the model is looking more at rain there, and so that's the reason that it's able to, start picking up on a more unsettled couple of weeks. It would not take much of an adjustment at all, though, to keep that cold into the second half of December, I have to say that. CMSB2, so let's see how that compares. Again, these are 500 millibar height anomalies broken down into weekly periods. The first week period takes from the 2nd to the 8th of December. The coming week has widespread blocking area of high pressure within the northern latitudes. Low pressure is underneath it. Winds are coming in from an easterly direction. Looks cold and wintry. In the week ahead, wow. Week 2 is going to be the 9th to the 15th of December. Again, blocking going nowhere fast. Well and truly entrenched over Greenland. Only difference is that we've got more low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic, and with cold air digging in from the northeast, there's a greater potential for snow there through the second week of the month. And then week 3 is going to be the 16th to the 22nd of December. Low pressure out west, still quite a lot of blocking. Only difference is that we're bringing in a little bit more of an Atlantic flow. So it probably turns a little bit less cold, more towards rain rather than snow. And then week 4 is quite interesting. This is the 23rd to the 29th of December, so over Christmas and running up towards New Year. It's mild, this. Low pressure is out to the west. We have high pressure to our south. But notice how that high pressure is ridging northwards and ridging back to the blocking over Greenland. So whilst this has probably got the wind up from the south over Christmas, and yes, we have a traditionally mild Christmas after all of that cold weather, you would not rule out the chance that could very, very easily start getting back into another cold scenario, because there is a lot of high pressure going on around here, and it would only take this low pressure and the jet stream to start going in that direction, and we're back in business and pulling the wind back into the east again. So it may turn milder for Christmas, but who knows, we might be back in the cold weather for New Year. The temperature anomaly looks like that for week 1, 2nd to the 8th of December, below average, especially so for England and Wales. It's week 2 that's particularly cold though. While I'm out the country, thank you, weather gods. 9th to the 15th of December, significant cold average. It does look cold though where I'm going to, so that is a bit of a saving grace, I suppose. But yes, quite substantially cold and average there. Very unusual for the CFS to be going down to around 2 to 3 degrees below average. Very, very substantially colder than average there. Week 3 starts to turn less cold, so this is the 16th, 22nd of December, a little bit of a recovery in temperature starting to take place. And then week 4 is the 23rd, 29th of December. As I said, it does go milder than average. We're back into the red colours then, which is like 2 to 3 degrees above average. So over Christmas it's turning milder. But again, it would not take that much of an adjustment to start pulling all of this cold air that we have sitting to our east and northeast over here. Would not take much of an adjustment to start bringing that back into the west of Europe again, maybe by the new year. Notice most of Canada and North America absolutely plunged into the freezer over Christmas as well, by the way. And then lastly, precipitation-wise, so week 1, 2nd to the 8th of December, substantially drier than average. Week 2 is nearer normal, so this is a more unsettled week, 9th to 15th December. There is greater potential for snow here. The model is not picking up on the snow possibilities and will not be able to do so. Week 3 is the 16th to 22nd of December. Above average rainfall at this point, more toward cold rain in from the west. And then week 4, which is the 23rd to 29th of December, doesn't have all that much of a signal, but could still be rather wet to our west and to our southwest as well. Right, so we've got a cold December on our hands. Certainly a cold first half of December, and it could carry on into the second half of the month. It does look as though we're probably going to get some milder weather or less cold weather through the second half of December, and that is, unfortunately, I know so many of you would like a cold Christmas, but unfortunately that might well coincide with Christmas. There is definitely the chance that we could keep it cold, though. There is considerable levels of northern blocking going on here. Remember, these models are always going to try to revert to the default. The default is westerly and Atlantic driven and zonal. So the models, particularly the seasonal models, but also the higher res models, you know, the shorter range, they are always going to try to get back to the default pattern. They will always try and collapse the blocking, eradicate it, and return to the default low pressure around Iceland to green and high pressure through the Azores. So with that in mind, you know, and the fact that both these models are keeping really quite considerable levels of high latitude blocking going even into the second half of December, you certainly wouldn't rule out the chance that any change to milder or less cold weather is short-lived and the cold comes back, and it may not even get milder in the end. So let's just wait and see. Certainly the first half of December is shaping up to be cold and wintry, and you wouldn't totally rule out that that could carry on into the second half, although the evidence of probability is that it probably will get a little bit milder into the second half of the month, at least for a while. Right, remember, just a snapshot of what these models are showing. They could look completely different when we look at them again next week. In fact, we won't be looking at them next week because I won't be here to look at them. So we'll actually be looking at these in 2 weeks. The next JMA Friday will be 2 weeks today. I'm so sorry about that, everybody. That's just out of habit, you know. No, I won't be here to have a look at. I won't be doing JMA Friday from New York. I'm sorry. So it'll be in 2 weeks when we do JMA Friday again, and we will find out then how things are looking, and that will take us, you know, over Christmas into New Year and into early January as well, of course. Right, so we're going to be back shortly with a 10 to 14 day Christmas update and a live stream tonight. It's all happening, it's all kicking off. Keep checking back to the channel for more. But for JMA Friday for this week, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.